Welcome to a scary deck. It doesn't work. It's not Halloween. Sup, squad? Team APS here with a brand new deck profile for you guys. We have vampires. And it's not that 2015 Miller card out your opponent's deck and hopefully you have Kingdom, the Papa card, and that's the whole strategy. No, 2018 vampires, they're new vampires, and they take the deck in a brand new direction. Check it out. So to start off, we have triple Vampire Retainer and triple Familiar. These are the soul of the deck. You want to send these bad boys to the graveyard. They can special themselves from the graveyard by sending a vampire card from your hand or field to the grave. And when they're special summoned, you pay 5 and then you can search a card. For Familiar, you can search a vampire monster, and Retainer, you can search a vampire spell or trap. These are so essential in getting that first turn started off right. This should be your main priority. Double Scarlet Scourge. He's like the new Vampire Duke. When he's normal or special, you can special summon a vampire from the grave, and he has the new vampire kind of mechanic. When he destroys a monster by battle, at the end of the battle phase, you can go ahead and take that monster. You can special summon to your side of the field, and you can use it for whatever the heck you want. I guess the only downside is you can't attack with it because it's the end of the battle phase. And the last of the new vampires that I run, there's plenty more. These are just the ones that I like to use. Is a 1 Vampire Fräulein. Vampire Fräulein is kind of a hand trap because she can be special summoned from your hand anytime a monster declares an attack, and then if a vampire monster battles, you can pay up to 3,000 life points and increase that vampire's attack by that amount, so your vampires can win virtually any battle. And then, like Scourge, if she destroys a monster by battle at the end of the battle phase, you can go ahead and take it. Triple Shadow Vampire. He's the only one with the vampire at the end, I think. When he's normal summoned, he can special summon a vampire from the deck, which is huge because, well, he's a plus. And before, he was the really only vampire plus, but now him plus like Familiar and Retainer means that you can do pretty well in card advantage, like just going first. And the last of our old pyres is Vampire Sorcerer, Vampire Duke, and Vampire Grace. Sorcerer isn't even really used for its float. It's really here to go to the grave and to make your tribute summon of a vampire free. Then Duke is here to, well, he can special summon a vampire out the grave. He tends to be a good target for Scourge because Scourge cannot bring himself back from the grave. So when he's special summoned, he'll go ahead and bleed a card from your opponent's deck. Speaking of bleeding, that's where Vampire Grace comes in. She can do that once per turn, and in addition, whenever a vampire monster is special summoned, she can tag along if she's in the grave. You just gotta pay 2,000. Oh, I forgot to mention, you pay 1,000 for him. So you're seriously paying life points, but luckily this deck does give you ways of getting that back. And here is our Unizombie engine that starts with Solitaire and ends with Mizuki. Really simple. It's zombies, and you really want to send Retainer and a Familiar, so Unizombie's invaluable in that. And if you don't want to do that, you can always go ahead and do the Mizuki thing for Omega. And my kind of new favorite zombie card, Gozuki, because in this deck he's the better Armageddon. Yeah, he only sends 1 card, unlike Unizombie because he can send 2. Gozuki, when he goes to grave, can float. You can banish another zombie from grave and special summon 1 from the hand, which means you can special summon things like Solitaire or Scourge, things that will start up new combos and start up pluses. Oh, and because it's when he's sent to grave, that means you can link him off and do those things. So more combos. And our hand traps, because where would I be without them? And Ash Blossom has the added bonus of being a zombie, so she can be the thing you banish for him. Triple Domain, it gives you that extra normal summon that you really need because your first normal summon is used to start getting the cards you need, and your second normal summon is when you really start the combo. And when a vampire monster does battle damage, you can add that to your life points. So this is one of the major ways of getting your life points back. So you want to try and keep a copy. You want to see it at the start. We run 3. Then double desire. It's kind of a, for at least my purpose, it's a weird foolish. Because you already have to control a monster on field. Because when you send that new vampire to grave, you will change the one on field's level to match the old one. So, for instance, let's say we're sitting on, I don't know, Scourge for whatever reason. And if we send a retainer, it makes him a level 2, which is really weird. But hey, you have a retainer in grave, so you can do things with that. It also can special summon a vampire from grave, but you first have to send a vampire from your field to grave. So it's a weird neg 1 play. But I'm sure there's combos with that. One of spells. Nothing to say here except for Book of Life is really cool. Because we run Grace and Duke, you can easily send a monster to your opponent's grave if they haven't already used a hand trap. So that your Book of Life can always be live, so essentially it's 2 monster reborns. Double Domination. It's really so you can dominate your opponent. And it's the Vampire Infernity Barrier with the bonus of if you negate a monster effect, you get to gain that monster's attack to your life points. So that's another searchable way of increasing your life points and defending your boards. Double Sucker. She nets you a draw when a zombie special summons from the grave. She can also special summon monsters from your opponent's grave as zombies to their field. And she lets you tribute your opponent's zombie monsters for the summon of your monsters. So I can summon my Duke by tributing the monster I special summon from my opponent. Not to mention that monster will also net me a draw. It's only the hard once per turn, but she can put in some good work. Speaking of linking, Link Karibo, very good with Vampire Familiar. They turn like brick hands into useful hands because you can just link that familiar into a Link Karibo, and now you can use that familiar in grave to get it back on the field, and your shenanigans start. Unicorn Talker, just solid 3s. 4s, Borload and Sarayuya. This deck puts out a stupid amount of monsters, where you can make these two very easily. Borload's your out. Sarayuya is your combo extender. You can really use that special summon. And it can really beef up your vampires who aren't all that big, but it even beefs up your extra deck monsters who may not get the bonus from free line. So you can just really make some pretty tough boards. Our Vampire Xyz, Al Dampier, and Braum. So I'm going to talk about Braum first. Braum can special summon a monster out of your opponent's grave to your side of the field. Well, Sheridan says that you can use a monster that is on your side of the field that is in your opponent that is in your possession but is owned by your opponent. You can treat as a 6. So you only need to have one of your own 6s, and if you have one of your opponents, like Braum can set up, you just go ahead and make Sheridan right next to your Braum. Sheridan also, for its effects, which is kind of funny. That's kind of the best part about Sheridan. His effects aren't even that great. Sheridan can send a card from your opponent's field to the grave by detaching one. But then you can also detach another to special summon that, if it was a monster, to your side of the field. It's alright, I guess. But I just like the idea of being able to take my opponent's cards, use them for my own cards, or just like keep them away from my opponent. Because your opponent wants things in the grave, so why let him? Photon Strike and Dragulus, just 2 solid cards to make during the end of your turn to kind of make your opponent's turn a little bit tougher. Beatrice and Pilgrim, this is kind of the spicy tech of this deck. You can do many other things. You can just get Pilgrim. That's kind of what you'll do here. I guess you could also run Farfa. That way you get some disruption too. And finally, Omega, because you run Unizombie things. Just a really solid card. That's it for my vampire deck. If you don't know, we did a duel with this before. You can go and check it. You can check it. Yeah, check it out. It's up there. We really didn't get to delve too much into the combos. So if you want to see that, go ahead and leave a like. If you have an opinion or an ideas what we could do with this deck, let's throw it in the comments. I really want to know. I'm still new to all this, and this deck can do a whole lot. We don't even have a summon sorceress, and I heard she can do nasty things. So yeah, just throw anything you have into the comments. I'll be reading. I'll be checking. So yeah, if you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell, join the squad. that's all I got. Pass time. What's up, Apps fans? Team APS here with a brand new deck profile for you guys. Today, we're bringing you zombies. Damn. Vampires.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's vampires.
There's a lot of zombies, but it's vampires, okay?